What up, y'all? I'm Gorden Campbell, and I love J-Ross TV.
What's up, y'all? In St. Louis with the Cat Boy, Gorden Campbell, drummer, hitting with Jonathan Butler tonight, y'all, in concert. But for the cats that don't know, this guy has professional credentials that go back a long way. So we just want to talk to him about that and stuff like that. So first question is, how long have you been drumming, and who gave you the impetus to get into drumming?
Well, I've been playing. My parents told me I've been playing since I was 5. I just always remember playing like my entire life. I don't remember not playing. You know, they have pictures of me when I was a kid, when I was a baby, with a little drum set playing, you know, banging on the drum. So I've been playing a long time, 30-something years, 35 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So any special influences that when you were growing up you saw what drummer and said, man, I can do that?
Well, back in my day, it wasn't much to see. It was more just listening to records. So, you know, like most gospel drummers, of course, it was Joe Smith. The Hawkins was like, and I'm a church kid, so, you know, gospel was all I could really listen to. So anything from like Joe Smith to Michael Williams with Commission, Dana Davis with the Winans, Jeff Davis on like from Smallwood. Plus I'm from New York, so I was in that scene, you know, a little kid watching him, and believe it or not, Jell Hayward was already playing like way back then. So I used to watch him, and then my cousin Al Boson, who was a drummer for Timothy Wright back in the day. So I was hanging around them a lot.
Yeah, now you done played with Layla Hathaway, Jonathan Butler, Earth, Wind and Fire, American Idol.
Oh,
what kind of skills do you have to prepare yourself with to be able to play all these different genres and play them well?
The first thing is listening to everything. You got to listen to every style of music that you can think of. For me, I just grew up. I started taking lessons in 4th grade. I was already playing in church, but once I started taking lessons, you have to learn orchestral music, which is, you know, classical stuff. You got to play jazz band stuff. So I just always listened to everything. I sang in chorus. I did gospel choir, and then at church I played organ. So I just was in anything that had music. I just listened to it. So knowing a wide range of music helps you be able to play whatever. And the second thing is reading, especially like the TV shows. You got to know how to read to do TV shows. If you want to do an award show where there's like 30 acts, there's really no way to memorize all of that music. You have to know how to read. And then they change stuff on the spot all the time. So in order to really pull it off and make it comfortable, you can just write it down, you can just read it on the spot. So reading is important.
So now you started off learning how to read at when you were in the 4th grade?
4th grade is when I started taking my first lesson.
So you pretty much got it imprinted into your mind, body, and spirit now.
Yeah, well, you know, when I moved to LA, because most of the pop gigs, you don't read, like the big tours. Some of the tours you do, but a lot of them, the R&B stuff, you don't. So I got away from it a little bit. But as the years went on, I started doing more records and more sessions, like movies and stuff like that. You have to have, you got to have your reading chops up.
All right.
For that.
Okay, now kids coming up behind you. Get them some advice, man. I mean, some real life experiences. You know, what do you do with not you per se, but how you do your money? How do you maintain life and be a professional musician?
All right. Well, I got a couple things on that tip. It's hard when everybody, I think, on their first tour or two, when you just my first tour, I was still in college. I actually left school to go out. What I started doing was spending too much money. I was buying silly stuff like sneakers and clothes, and we all like that. But you got to think, when that tour is over, your money just stopped. All that money you was making, it just stopped. Unless you got another tour lined up, you know, you got to still pay your bills. So once you start living on your own and having to pay bills, sneakers, clothes, all that become less important. And like having a place to put your head down and a car to drive, it's more important. So I would say save your money. Don't get caught up in the hype of trying to be like everybody else on the tour. I see a lot of people try to be like the artist. Now the artist got a deal, they might have $1 million and they buy new sneakers. I've seen a lot of young people try to keep up with the artists with new sneakers. First of all, the artists don't pay for most of that stuff anyway. But you know, most of us get caught up, oh man, they got these new, I gotta get this, it's a waste of money, man. Save your money.
Oh yeah.
Number one. Number two advice I would give any young cat, and it's hard because everybody wants to be thought of as being dope. So when you watch all these sheds and all that, that's dope because I love it too. I like the shed. But be musical. Being musical is way more important than any chop you ever gonna play. You know, people go crazy over chops, even the older guys, if they see, like, oh, that guy can play. But the person that they call for that gig is the one that's more musical.
Okay.
So if you want to make a living off of playing drums, it's got to be music. Even the Aaron Spears that we love and all of them that got the most chops, Spanky, all of them dudes are incredible. But when you see them on TV playing with an artist, they playing straight. They're not doing that stuff. So it's good to have that side, have the Shed side, but they also have that musicality thing where they know how to shut it down. And let me just chop barbecue, and just lay it down. That's way more important.
Hey, y'all, that's Gorden Campbell with some sound advice to everybody coming up. And we want to thank him once again. He in St. Louis hitting with Jonathan Butler. Y'all, we going to roll up out of here. We out, y'all. Peace.
Later.